Now we're going to go through File Save, but also I want to go through File Close just to illustrate that we need to save a copy of this file, and if we don't, it goes right back to what it used to be. So I'm going to click on File and then Close on the File menu, and it asks if we want to save our changes. Go ahead and click on Don't Save. Now here's our blank worksheet that we were working with. If we go back to File and we go to Open, notice it starts out by having Recent on the top, and here's the Orders by Customer. I'm going to click on it. Notice our extra tabs are gone, our extra worksheets are not there, and that little percentage is not there. It's back to the way it was. So if you don't save, that's what's going to happen. It's going to go back to the way it was. Or if you've never saved it, it's even a bigger problem. Now I'm going to click on Close on the top right corner because I don't want to change that worksheet. Now on this one we just typed in our name, and what you would do with a sheet you already saved is you just go to File, Save, File and Save, or you'd click on this little, icon, the little disk, or notice it's giving you the shortcut Control S. That's what I do all the time. I'll just do a Control S to save the file. Now since we've never saved this file, notice it's called Book 1 up on the top. What happens if we just try and save it? So I'll click on Save, and it takes me to the Save As section instead of Save, because it can't save it. It hasn't got a name yet. So let's just call this First, our first file. And by default it'll go into your My Documents folder. You can click on Save, and notice that now up on the top of the screen the file has a name. So if your file has a name, you know it's been saved at least once. Now if we put in, say, our last name on the next cell down, and now we want to save by either going to File and Save, or clicking on the icon, or doing a Control S. I'll click on the icon this time. It doesn't go to File, Save As, it just goes ahead and saves it. Now what if I wanted to make a copy of this file? I could go to File and Save As, and it has the name, but I could type in the word second and click Save, and now I've got a copy of the first file called Second. If I put in this is second and I save it, I've saved that file. Now I can go to File, Open, and Recent, and open First, and notice here is First. It doesn't have anything in cell A3. If I go to View, if I have multiple windows open, I can go to View and switch windows, and it shows me all the files I have open. So I'll click on Second, and there I'm in the second file. Now I don't have it on my screen, but if you go to your taskbar, your Windows taskbar on the bottom, you'll notice there's a little, it's like there's two XLs down there, and you can click on one and it will show a window for both of the files, or however many files you have open. Now I want to show you a reason why it's a good idea to save very soon after you start working with a file. If you go back to File and go to Options on the bottom, there are several different categories of options. I want to go to the one called Save. So save files in this format by default. It's our current format. But notice right below there it says Save Auto Recover every 10 minutes. That means that Excel is automatically saving your file every 10 minutes, but it's only doing this if you've saved the file one time. If it doesn't have a name yet, it's not going to auto-save. So if the power went out, if you've already saved the file, the most you're going to lose is 10 minutes of work. If you haven't saved the file at all, you're going to lose everything. So it's a good idea to do a Save As early on when you're creating a new worksheet. Now let's just click Cancel and go back to the File menu once again and go Save As. And notice that the default format is XLSX. That's the suffix or the last name on the file. If I click this pull down on the right, it shows me that I can also save as an XLS file. And that's what was in use until Office 2007 came out. So if somebody has an older worksheet or an older version of Excel and they need to look at your worksheet, you can save in this format. But if there are any features that you've used that were not existing in their version 2000 or 2003, whatever it is, the worksheet will not save those and they won't see that. Also, if you do have an XLS file that somebody gives you, it will Excel 2016 will open that automatically. One last thing on the file menu, if I go to open, it does have recent and it shows these by day. If this is an older file, I can just click on the browse button. I've got an F drive that I'm using. But on your C drive, you can use this window to browse through the folders on your hard drive. Or if you're not sure where it was, you can always click on the search up here and search for the file. Now in this case, I'll just click cancel and I'll click the left arrow to go back to the spreadsheet. So that's the end of this first section on the worksheet basics. What we're going to do in the next section is manipulate columns and rows. It's a fairly short section, but I wanted to keep it separate so you can come back and find it, use the course as a reference if you had any questions on that. So I will see you in the next section.